welcome back to another episode of Budget Beauty. I am Lindsay Beatty, and you guys should know the drill by now. This is becoming a reoccurring habit for me. So this is going to be episode 4. I am currently filming because I am going to be finishing up my other filming project later today. So I was like, I guess I should get online. I'm going to do some makeup so I can look a little nice for this last little batch of filming that I have to do on camera. Do a little something with my face. And I mean, I'm going to continue to do this even after I finish this batch of filming that I'm doing. But I have the time, and it's a weekend, so I have time to be able to do this and sit down and properly take the time to do my makeup. So here I am. So today I figured I would do, as you see, I'm wearing purple in my bandana here. And I got on these really cute earrings I got from a hair store. They're like glasses of drinks, like tropical drinks. It's really cute, but they're purple. So I decided I was going to do maybe a Jessica Rabbit inspired look. I kind of have my hair up right now, and so the hair, just ignore the hair. We're ignoring the hairs, but I really wanted to focus on the makeup. So that's what we're gonna do. But also this is gonna serve as a trial run for kind of doing the makeup, because I am considering possibly trying to do Jessica Rabbit next year or this year for Halloween coming up in October. So I thought about it last year. At Halloween, I did Dorothy last year, Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz again. And I was trying to think, I was like, maybe I might want to do a Disney character. And I really like Jessica Rabbit's look because very much into pinup and 40s and 50s vintage and 60s vintage and like that siren, bombshell look. So I was like, I might try that. I'm going to see if I can do that and attempt it. So I'm going to do some trial runs of the makeup well before October if I decide that I'm going to do Jessica Rabbit. I may not do it just because dress wise we'd have to. I maybe could do it, but I don't know. So I have to develop a little bit more confidence in myself to think that I could pull that off. But makeup wise, yeah. So I probably could do it, but I got to do some trial runs. So today I'm going to try to do a trial run of that and see how, just, preliminary, what if I decided to do it? Can I do it? Type of thing. So to get started, here we're gonna, because I said the last video, I was like, I have time, I can do my makeup and I can sit here and do it. I didn't use the I Prep I Prime eyeshadow primer. Well, we're gonna use it today. As you can see, this shade matches me very well, almost perfectly on my eyes, and you'll see that when I start putting it on. So I'm gonna use that today. And as a matter of fact, that's what we're gonna get started doing now. I actually forgot to get one of my tools before I started filming. So here I am. I'm getting my tools. I got most of my little tools together. So we are gonna get started. So mascara wise, I also was thinking about my choices for mascara, but we'll get to that later. Right now though, eyeshadow wise, I was thinking, all right, what purple do I have? And girl, you got a lot of purple, so don't worry about that. What I did also too before I got started, I shook it up because I hadn't used this in a minute. So I was like, I should probably shake that up before I do anything. So when I start putting this on, you're gonna be like, wow, that matches really well. It really does. I really don't want to spread this out with my finger, but I guess I should. It's very brown. You could also, once upon a time, before I bought concealer, I actually used this as a concealer. And it matched my skin tone. That was crazy too. I was like, what? That matches. Okay, so for right now, I'm just going to put a little bit on right to get this excess off my finger. I mean, we know that I'm going to put this on my eye. So see, like you can't even tell I'm putting anything on. It's covering up the dark spot, but you can't even really tell that I have anything on my eye at all. And you can now see the stark difference between, let me get in a little closer. You can see the stark difference between using the Urban Decay light colored eyeshadow primer and this brownish eyeshadow. I mean, like, look at that. Like, you can look at my other eye. I mean, you can see it, the top part, because I have hyperpigmentation on my eyelids a little bit, which is also why primer is your best friend here. But see how it looks a little bit browner, if at all that is a thing. But trying to get as close to my lash line as I can. But that, my friends, is why we use primer. Now, this is not as quick drying as, say, the Urban Decay. So be aware of that. Make sure you got some time that you can kind of sort of take the time to do this, and get her right. Give yourself time to be able to work this in and use it, because it's gonna take a minute to dry. And I got a little bit on the little brush thing, but it's fine. On the handle, it's fine. It's not gonna hurt anything. So yesterday after I did my makeup and I did an episode, my husband got home from work and he was like, "Baby, you look super cute." And I was like, "I know." Oh, thank you. But I was like, I know. I am very appreciative that he loves my makeup. Because, I mean, really, at this stage in my life, this is who I'm wearing makeup for, outside of myself. If I'm going to wear it for anybody, I wear it for my husband. So, I mean, I don't need that validation, but it's nice. It's nice when somebody tells you, "Hey, babe, your makeup looks good. Hey, you look good today." And he tells me all the time, so I'm not, pressed about it or anything if he doesn't say anything, because I know that he thinks that. And he loves my makeup. The day when we got married, the day of our ceremony, he saw me, because we got ready separately. We lived together before we got married. We lived together for years. Almost more time than we've been together, almost. But we lived together, so we got ready in separate parts of the house because I didn't want him to see me getting ready. But he'd already seen my dress and all of that. Like I say, we lived together, and so he when I came out of the room and I was ready, and he was ready to go. He's like, "Baby, you look really good." And I was like, "Oh." Maybe one day you guys will see how I did my makeup that day. We've learned so many lessons. So, it was bittersweet though. But yeah, no. So I've got this on. So I'm going to use my little fan and I'm going to dry it a little bit. Try to help this along a little bit. Like I say, it takes a little bit, but if I don't put on a ton of it, I should be dry very quickly. So that's what I'm hoping, is that this won't take long to dry, because I'm not using a ton of it on my eyes. I turned up the fan a little bit too. This little fan is fantastic, y'all. It was $9. I said it was $8 in another video. It was $9. But I ordered off of Amazon. And I wound up having to use it. This was the crazy thing. I wound up having to use it when Hurricane Helene came through. And your girl, look at that. See, now that's dry because I didn't use a ton of it on my eye. Look how we learn lessons. But anyway, Hurricane Helene came through and we didn't have power. So in this house, it was like 3,000 degrees. And so I was like, I got this little handheld fan and it'll help for a couple of hours to get it, at least us, between the two of us, get us cool. Yeah. So, and then my battery ran out so we don't have anything to charge it with. So, yeah, we wound up getting a hotel, like I said, and I charged up everything while we went to the library and charged everything up. Because the library had power too, which was crazy. Everything had power except us. We were the only ones that did not have power for like 5 days. At least in my neighborhood. That was the crazy thing. Everybody around us got power back, but us. We didn't have power for 5 days. So of course I had to throw everything out. That was so annoying. But food wise, and I was just like, really? So anyway, what we're gonna do now for this eye. So I have looked at enough pictures of Jessica Rabbit to know what she looked like. And so for this eye, what they did, and this is why I do this when I do my makeup myself, because I like this look. They did, to draw her and give her the eye shape. They did. I'm throwing away this. I'm sharpening this pencil so you guys can see. They did a black cut crease, and this is why I also do it. Part of the reason why. And so, just so you guys know, by the way, I don't like Who Framed Roger Rabbit at all. Not a fan of them. I mean, Bob Hoskins, but I don't like the mix of the animation and the real life stuff. Like I didn't like Cool World either, by the way. And both games that are, because I'm a gamer, both games that are associated with those movies are terrible. So let me just be honest here. So yeah, I didn't enjoy Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and I didn't enjoy Cool World, but the animation for Who Framed Roger Rabbit, yeah. So because Jessica Rabbit, because who doesn't like Jessica Rabbit? So I can not like the movie, but like the character a lot. So anyway, also one of my other possible choices for Halloween, Ursula from The Little Mermaid, because again, I can like Ursula a lot, and I do, because divine. But I don't like The Little Mermaid. I know this is blasphemous, and I'm probably gonna get a lot of hate for this, but it's not one of my favorite Disney movies. Ariel's all right. She's not my favorite Disney princess though, because baby, that is reserved for Jasmine. Jasmine from Aladdin and Tiana from The Princess and the Frog. Okay, listen, it is not Ariel. It is not Belle. It's not, well, and Cinderella. Cinderella is one of my favorites too. But it ain't Ariel and it ain't Belle. I was not into Disney right at that point when those two were big. I got back into it with Aladdin. So yes, I'm a Disney fan. Disney, yes, but I kind of skipped The Little Mermaid and Beauty and the Beast. I did go back and watch them. I have watched them. So it's not that I haven't seen them at this point. I have. I went back and made it a point to watch them. But yeah, no. So Ursula. So I was thinking about doing Ursula. So that's why I was like, ooh, purple makeup. And I have a lot of it. So I was like, maybe I'll put that to good use. So what we're going to do is they cut the crease with this black. And the way they did it, and it's the way that I do it, you start from one corner, go up the arch, and around. Now, Ursula's is exaggerated. I'd probably have to block out my brows, and redraw an eyebrow. If, I can't even think, does she have them? I don't even know if she's got eyebrows if you do Ursula. But you're going to have to take advantage of all of this beyond your normal arch for your eyelid. So you'd have, like, her makeup goes all the way up here for Ursula. And for Jessica Rabbit also. It goes up here. So you're going to have the exaggerated purple eyelid arch like that. Looks like a perfect arch, bell arch. So that's what I'm thinking. Do I really want to do all of that? Because that involves blocking eyebrows out and redrawing them. So in another place. So because I'm pretty sure Jessica Rabbit had different eyebrows than this. Than this bushiness that I got going on. So I don't know. But for right now, because I don't feel like blocking my eyebrows, I also don't have the tools to do it. I could very well block them down and paint over them with concealer and then do what I want to do. Put them elsewhere and do the exaggerated, super arched eyebrow. I guess I could do that, but again, that's work. And what did I tell y'all? Lazy beauty. So what we're going to do is we're just going to do the normal. I'm going to do it on my normal eye and see how I like it. And then maybe one day I'll play with it. So I'm going to start from this corner and go up and over the arch. So bear with me as I draw this. I'm trying to stay in frame here so you can see what I'm doing. I use this pencil because it's going to give me that. See, there's that arch. When I cut that crease, I wanted I want that exaggerated cartoon look. And this one is a little bit thicker than the other one that I use, and I might not use this one when I do it. I might not use this one, and sometimes I do try to draw cut my crease on the on where I put the very tip top of where I put the eyeshadow primer. But sometimes I'll draw around it. Yes, that means if I don't put it on where I put the primer, it's gonna probably wipe. But I don't touch this area a whole lot, and the stuff that I'm using generally sits still. I don't have to worry about that, so it's probably fine. This one is a little bit thicker than it's a little bit thicker. I can tell up close, but I mean, for what I'm doing, up close is fine. So purple. All right. So what we gonna use for purple? Shadow stick. And y'all know how much I love these shadow sticks. This is in the shade Hey Bestie Metallic. Now, I don't know. I think I kind of need a matte. I think I need a matte. So I don't know if I want to use this specifically because I need a matte purple. So I might not use this now that I'm thinking about it. I think I have some purple. Y'all, I got purple. That's not a problem. I have purple eyeshadow. So in powder form. That is a matte. Also, ooh, let's talk about this one. NYX. I was disappointed. So I bought this, $20, and I saw these shades, and I was like, oh, these shades are ridiculous. Oh, I could do stuff with this. Bought it, got it home, and I'd be damned if it says the color palette, and you don't notice it till you really look at it at the bottom. In this little tiny print down here, it says eye palette, face pigments. Eye pigments, face pigments. And I'm like, excuse me? What do you mean? Then it says not intended for use around the eyes. And I'm like, hold on. Why you didn't tell me that beforehand? So then I went back, I thought about it, I was like, you know what, let me go back, and I was mad about this, I was hot. So all of my lady compatriots at the job who use makeup, I was telling them about this, and I'm like, did y'all know that some of these things are not meant to be used around the eye, but they put it in an eyeshadow palette? And they were like, Why would they do that? And I was like, I don't know. So apparently in the US, they have to say that on the pallets. I learned this. I went and did some research because lots of other people were hot about this tiny print down here that they didn't tell nobody. People were hot in the reviews for this. So it turns out, yes, in the US, you have to say that. So, and then what also makes it so bad is it's tiny print, but also, so you really can't see it, but see there's a little pink, there are little pink outlines around certain things. It's real small, but this right here, see where my finger is? Here, there's like a little pink cross right there. Yes, so on the back, here in this little diagram, they tell you those that are pink, those are face pigments. Do not use on the eyes. And the reason why is because they have glitter in them. And so glitter could get in your eye and scratch your eyeball, and it's a medical mess. And that is why they advise that you not use these pigments in your eye. But y'all see this purple pigment right here? I really wanted to use this as an eyeshadow. Can't do that. Or at least I shouldn't, because it's got a lot of glitter in it. And every single one of these there's a couple of mattes in here that I would like to use, but they're marked as eyeshadow pigment. My problem here with this NYX palette, and that's why I say I really like NYX, but this in particular was pretty egregious, and I was really mad with them because out of 16 shades in this pan, 8 of them, let's see, that's 7 of them are face pigments. And then on top of that, the colors that I would have used for an eyeshadow are the ones that are the blush, because they really want you to use this as blush, like blush and highlighter. And I'm like, I don't want that. Maybe I didn't want that. So I'm having to find my other purple ones, but I wanted to point that out. It's another one too I got here. This is the Sunset Sangria that I was talking about. It's got some nice gold shadows in here. This too, blush. They mark on here what's blush and what's not. So across the top, trying to back up a little bit, but you can't really see the letters too much. The B's, there are 4 B's across the top, a B here, and then the E's are eyeshadow. So B is blush, E is eyeshadow. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 B's on this little diagram back here. I hate to tell them I've used some of these as some eyeshadow. One of these pink ones, this pink one done got some play. So this one right here, that done got some play, and that's a blush. So hope that, I didn't have any, I've not personally had any adverse effects. So yeah, I don't, but I could see how some people would have problems. So yeah, no, I understand. I want you to put that warning on there because it could be very bad. I'm trying to find a palette that's got purple in it. I'm trying to find my violets. Okay, so in the last episode, I talked about this in this violets palette. The back of the packaging is crazy. There's no way you're reading that, even if I didn't have it super blurry, because something's going on with the wording, and they blended it and it was crazy and you can't read it. So when you open up this palette, and I do keep my little plastic thing that comes as the cover, you open up this palette, it is specifically, I'm trying to remember which shade is it. I think it's this one, Mr. Purple right here. You can't pick up on the brush. It does not want to pick up. Everything else is fine, but that one. And I was not the only one that had a problem with it. So we're gonna use this palette because purple. And I'm trying not to use any metallics at first. I want to do a light purple. So I might actually use this palette. I'm going to use this palette, and I'm going to use the Hey Bestie. Now I got a lot of purple, so this ain't a problem. Finding the correct shade of purple is not going to be a problem here. But just know that your girl got a lot of purple, and that purple palette, it is disappointing. One of the few that I had were from Juvia's Place where I've been upset with it. And it's a minor irritation because I can work around it. So we're going to start applying this shadow stick. It's going on because I got on the brown underneath here. And this is where this color theory that I talk so much about is going to come into play. As you can see, it's muting this metallic. It's muting it a lot. Almost so that I can't really tell that I'm putting it. I can see it and I can tell that I'm putting it on because I'm up close, but the metallic effect is very muted here. Which is fine because actually this works. See, you can see it, but you can't really see the metallic. I mean, see, you can see that shimmer when I do the shift. You can see the shimmer, which is actually the effect I'm going for. So maybe this is the right one. See, this is why we do a trial and error. There we go. Ooh wee. Ooh wee, I like that. I'm gonna clean this side up over here because I got a little bit on the cut crease. I am gonna clean that up. But we're gonna come back and do this eye over here. And what I like about this Juvia's Place primer, in addition to the fact that it doesn't that it matches my skin tone very well, is that it does not mess with my eyeshadow and things. It's very stable. I do not have issues with it. Once I have it on, it's on, and it's a nice formula. It doesn't cause me problems. It doesn't mess with my makeup. It doesn't mess up the makeup. I mean, it's very good. I have very, very good thoughts about it, and I really enjoy using it. I just don't use it often because, like I say, your girl was taking a little bit too much and putting it on, so I would be like, bro, this still hasn't dried. Ooh, see? Now that's what I was wanting. See what I mean about the high exaggerated arch? That's what I want. And this is perfect. So now I know what I need to do here. So I do the eye, so I might not have to do anything with blocking my brows. I might not have to do that. If I decide to go with doing Jessica Rabbit. I would still probably need to do it for Ursula because, like I say, Ursula's design, her makeup goes all the way up here. I'm like, girl, what are you doing? Why is your makeup all the way up there? But that's how Divine did hers. So yeah, that's why. But yeah, it's hilarious. Okay, so I'm gonna clean this up a little bit. Draw that black back in. Now, ma'am, I love it. I love it. That actually turned out really well. All right, so I'm not going to need to use this palette. I'm not. I thought I was going to have to, but I don't need to. I really don't need to at all. Trying to put it back. Okay. So, eyes are done. At least that part of the eye is done. Now we can kind of sort of do the because I'm trying to think, did she have a black under eye? I don't think she did. I don't think that Jessica Rabbit had a black under eye. She may have. I don't know. But for the purposes of what we're doing today, I will give myself a black under eye. So, you know what's the first choice I go to in my kit? Numero uno. ColourPop BFF liquid liner. The first choice. So, Let's draw our own. She does not do a wing for her eye, so I'm not doing a wing today. So y'all can see this. I'm trying to stay in frame. Learning how to do that and do this at the same time, do my makeup at the same time, where I stay in frame and you guys can see what I'm doing. And I said I'm not going to do a wing, but I want this to connect across to the outer corner where the cut crease stops. So yeah, I am very much into Disney. And I would like to go to Disney again. I haven't been to Disney since 1987 because I went as a little girl, and I'm showing my age. I went in 1987, and I did not. I have not been back. So a lot has changed. Just to give you an idea of how old I am, when I went in 1987, Epcot was finished on the outside but not finished on the inside, and they have renovated Epcot in the years since. Several times, if I'm not mistaken. I think as what my friend at work said, that who's a Disney super fan. His wife is also. But I'm pretty sure they've renovated it in the years since. It's been 30 math. And it's a weekend. Math. Just know that it's been a long time. It's been at least 30 years since they finished Epcot, and because they finished it right after we went. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that they finished Epcot. I'm pretty sure. So there we go. Liner done. Now we can do eyeliner. We can do mascara. So gonna knock this mascara out, and what we're gonna do, because she's got big old lashes, that's part of the thing here, is that she had the really large lashes, without using falsies. I'm gonna use the size up from Sephora, and if that don't achieve the fit fully, which though it should, if that doesn't achieve the fit, we go into that Lash Princess, the Essence Lash Princess. So you count on seeing that if Sephora doesn't do what I want it to do, which I don't feel like that's going to be an issue. So we'll see. But yeah, I would love to go back to Disney. They used to have when I went, we went, so I went with my mom, my aunts, a bunch of my aunts. Matter of fact, 3 of my aunts. And so, my mom's sisters. And so I had a great time. I had the best time. I was 6 years old, and I had the best time. But we went to Disney. We drove down from Columbia. It's a 7-hour drive. And we went in July of 1987. And I remember certain things about going. I remember we did the walkthrough. So this is one of the things that has definitely changed. When I went, Cinderella's castle was just a walkthrough. It was a big old walkthrough tunnel type thing, but it had the facade of her castle, So it looked like the castle. It looked like Cinderella's castle when she married Prince Charming. So, that is now from what I've seen. It is a restaurant, and it is like a full attraction and everything. They put a restaurant in it and made it so that you sit down, and it's called the Royal Table. And they serve dinner and breakfast. I think lunch, maybe brunch. But I know they serve dinner because it's super fancy. And they have the breakfast because they have sometimes the character actors come around, and Cinderella herself will come. So that's kind of cool. And then that's what I've seen. I've seen pictures of this. But yes, when I went to Disney World, that was not a thing. That was literally just a walkthrough. We have pictures of us walking through it. There are way more things there now, obviously. Like, and different things. They don't do the electric light parade anymore. My aunt took, my late aunt, took a lot of photos of the electric light parade. Yeah, just so y'all know, my aunt was a photo person. When she died in 1998, my mom, who was her next youngest sister and also her best friend, my mom found all of these photos of just various things, all the trips she'd been on. She had so much undeveloped photo, because back in the day there was no such thing as camera phones. If my aunt had a cell phone, first of all, if my aunt had been alive when cell phones became a thing, she would have had a cell phone and she would have filled up her phone with photos. Because when my mom went and they were cleaning out her apartment, she found all of this undeveloped photo and film. And it was like, there's still stuff that my mom didn't get developed before my mom died. So my mom died like 15 years later. So it was like, what in the world? I have the undeveloped film in the other room. It was crazy. It was kind of crazy. I was like, Auntie, what in the world? But she liked capturing moments, special moments. And she really liked to take photos. So again, we love to say, my mom and I strongly believed that I was the living reincarnation of my aunt, even though my aunt was alive at the time. I was the living reincarnation of my aunt, because guess who also likes taking photos and doing video. So y'all, I look just like my mom now. Like I say, I'm going to do a video at some point where I do a comparison video where you see it is a very uncanny resemblance to my mom now. But y'all, for the first, probably as an adult, I look just like my aunt. It's only been in recent times that I look like my mom. And with this makeup on, I look like my aunt a lot. Like, it's kind of scary. And actually, one day I will put a side-by-side photo. And the way I describe this to people, and they immediately see what I'm talking about. There's a wedding photo that I took of myself when I married my second husband, Brandon. When I married Brandon. And I'm smiling in this photo, and it was completely accidental. I didn't even know this other photo of my aunt existed. But there's a photo of me where I am smiling in this photo. And then I found a photo of my aunt who is sitting in somebody's house, I think. It might be my grandmother's house. And she's literally sitting there and she's smiling, and you can tell the photo is old, like it's a photo from the 60s or 70s, but she's sitting there and she's smiling. And if I didn't know when the two photos were taken, I would think they were the same person. There's that much of a resemblance where you go, wait a minute, why do we look this much alike? I mean, yeah, DNA and genes and all, but It's kind of unnerving. Also, too, and if it weren't for the fact that I know that I have a ton of her personality traits, like we have so much in common, and it is, there's a lot of it where it would be a coincidence if you didn't know about other things. So yeah, it's a lot. You see this room that I'm in. This is my house now. I co-own this house, but this was her house. She bought this house in 1982, about a year after I was born. We moved in with her in 1984 when my parents got a divorce. And so the first time they got divorced and then they remarried like 25 years later. Yeah. So that's a whole story and a half. But anyway, so when they got a divorce, my mom moved in with her sister. And so we lived here for 9 years. And then I moved, and you hear me talk about it, I moved in the middle of the 7th grade. So then we moved back into this house in 1999, the day I graduated from high school. So I've been in this house for 9 and then plus another 4 years because I lived here the entire time I was in college. So another 4 years. So that's 13. And then I moved back. I moved out in 2003 on my own. I moved back in 2008 with my first husband. Then we left again in 2009. So that's another year. So we're up to 14 years. And then I moved back when my mom got sick. So that would have been 2014-ish, somewhere around there. So I've been in this house again. I've now been in this house longer than the first time. I've been here since 2014, March 1st, 2014. I've lived here 11 years again, or it will be 11 years in March of this year, 2025. So I'm telling y'all all this while I'm waiting for these eyelashes to dry. That's what we're waiting on. So, because you see, I put all of my mascara. You know, I had to put my lash primer. That's what this is, lash primer. So, I've lived here now, so it'll be 11 plus the 9 plus the 4 plus the 1, so that's 13, and 1 is 14, and 11 is 15. So yes, so I've lived here 25 years, off and on. I've lived in this house longer than my aunt did when she originally bought it. She didn't live here for very long. She bought it in 1982, and she moved to Charlotte in 1987, thereabouts. 87, maybe 86. I want to say 87. So I want to say it's 87. So this used to be my bedroom several times over. It's been my bedroom. It's been other people's bedrooms too, but this has been my bedroom also several times. Now I just use it for like video games, and I keep my computer in here, my desktop, and I have my makeup set up in here. So yeah, it's easy. It's a nice place to film in here. We'll get better lighting at some point. This high bright light is doing some things. Every time I try not to look, don't stare directly at it because it'll mess up your eyes, but it causes the light spots. So, and given that we already have diabetes, which the anniversary of that just passed, given that we have diabetes, we don't need any more problems with our eyes than we already have. So, all right, I'm pretty sure this is dry now, so we can do what we want to do. So I got this random lash that I cannot get rid of, and it's sticking. It does not want to cooperate when I do my lashes. Once I put this on, that lash will like stick out, and it's weird looking. So yeah, I think everything is ready to go. I had to pluck another lash. But all right, so we're ready to go with mascara. So we're going to, like I said, we're going to use the Sephora Size Up. Y'all have seen me use it before. I like the results that I get from it. So, I'm going to pull her up and put her on. So yeah, I that's why I say it's a lot of coincidence going on here. I have a lot of her personality traits. I look just like her. It's kind of scary. If you really want me to be honest, it is kind of scary. Because yeah, when you look so much like a person and you even have their personality traits, yeah. And she was super influential on my life. I'm going to be very straight up honest with you guys. When she died in 1998, I completely lost my mind. I really did. I kind of lost it there for a long time. Because she was gone. And I had no reference. Like, I didn't know anything about, like, it wasn't the first person that I knew that died, but for one, it was extremely sudden. She died of congestive heart failure. She literally dropped dead one morning while she was getting ready for work, putting on makeup, as a matter of fact. She liked to use Mary Kay. And so, she was heavy into Mary Kay. So she was putting on makeup, and apparently she had congestive heart failure. And she had said she was going to the doctor the next week. And she was coughing. Couldn't stop coughing. And she didn't make it. She literally was bending down to put on her face toner and stood back up. And that was all she wrote. She dropped dead. Likely dead before she hit the floor. So, she died the summer before my senior year of high school. So I had just turned 17, the month before she died. She died July 28th, 1998. And when I tell y'all that was the day my life changed, there is always a before, and then there's an after. And the before, I was fine. And I mean, I'd had some things happen in that time period before, but that was completely, that was life changing. I had no idea how to go forward. Like, I had no clue how to proceed with my life. And I was young. I was 17. It wasn't as if I were, like super old or anything. And I still, to this day, I have accepted it. It took a long time. When I tell y'all it took a long time, I refused to accept that she had died. My mind just kind of blocked that out and refused to accept it. So for years, until my mama died, 15 years later, I had dreams about her being on a long trip. And that's how my mind rationalized that she was gone and why she wasn't there. There were times I fully expected her. I would dream that she was on a trip and she would come home. And I fully expected her to walk through the door. It was like that for a long time with my mom too. I would dream that my mom was on a long trip. And I just had a dream the other day that my mom was supposed to be coming to get me. And we were supposed to be going somewhere, as we usually did. And Mama was not. Mama was not. So my mom has been dead for 10 years as of this year. So I'm kind of like, no, baby, she's not coming to get you. I mean, I've accepted it at this point, but it wasn't until my mama died that I accepted that my aunt had died, because my mind rationalized that there was no way that they couldn't be together. They were always together when they both were alive. They were always together. If you saw one, The other one was somewhere nearby. And on top of that, they kept up with each other when they didn't live together. So they were best friends. So yeah, um, they were gonna keep up with each other and know where they were. So yeah, I'm not gonna lie, for many years, at least. Okay, so I can go ahead and tell you, I don't remember my senior year of high school. I don't. I blocked out most of it. I mean, I had stuff going on. I was straight A student. Basically, I was straight A student. And I remember some things here and there, but not the majority of it. Uh, I dated a little fella. We broke up senior year. I went to prom. I do remember prom, only because that was at the end of the year. And I dated the fella I went to prom with for years afterwards. So kind of remember prom. But for the most part, girl, I don't remember nothing about my senior year of high school. And college afterward, the first 2 years were absolutely horrendous. Because I had some stuff going on that I didn't need to have going on, and that took some time to recover from. So I blocked out time for that too. So I kind of just disassociated from reality there for a minute. So yeah, and makeup was always something that helped me just deal with things. I could make myself look like something else, and I could use my makeup to express on the outside what I felt on the inside. So as a young adult in college, so that is why I tended to get into my makeup a lot and do dark makeup. You guys have heard me say I was a goth back in the day. So yeah. Okay, so what I did was, while I'm doing all of this and I'm telling y'all all this, I added some of this Call Me Queen to go with the size up. I really like the effect here. I like the effect. I think I did a good job with that. I really do. All right. So while we're waiting for that to dry, I do kind of want to touch up on a little bit on this side over here, like I did for the other side. I want to put some eyeliner. I'm not, like I say, I'm not doing a wing. I really can't see it because I got a shadow there. But I want to put it in the corner. And give it that kind of that block look to come around. So, all right, there. I like how that looks. Skin is a little dark there. Yeah, having some pigmentation issues there. So we will be taking care of that with a little bit of concealer. Which we're going to do that now since we're ready to do. Like I said, I can do my concealer now because I'm not, I don't need to touch my face to do my lips. So, that's why I'll do my lips last. But eyes are done though, and I really like how my eyes turned out. I think that turned out nicely. So, I turned on my mirror. That's what I was doing here. Give myself a little bit more extra light underneath here. The e.l.f. We're gonna go back to the e.l.f. face primer, hydrating face primer. I only need a little bit. Like I say, two pumps is almost too much. Almost. So I'm gonna rub it in a little bit and then rub it in my face. So here we go. But yeah, like I said, I made peace with my aunt dying. I got things together. I got life together and got out on my own, finished school, got out on my own, got married, and got out in the world. And I've lived. I have lived. I really wish my husband had been able to meet my aunt because he would have really liked her. I'm sure. He would have really liked her. I really wish he would have been able to meet my grandma. You heard me talk about my grandma in the last episode. Good old grandma. Southern black grandma that she was, which the crazy thing is, so my grandparents lived basically down the street from Brandon's grandparents. And so they likely would have known each other. It is very possible that they would have known each other. And maybe they did. I don't know. They were a bit younger than my grandma and granddaddy, so maybe they didn't know each other, but maybe they knew of each other. That was very possible because my granddaddy went to this barber shop that was down the street from their houses. And so I'm almost certain that Brandon's grandfather also went to this barber shop. And pretty sure. So they may have known, they may have ran into each other. Maybe so. I don't know. Columbia is not very big, but it's big. It's not a big city, but it's big enough. So we're not a major city like, say, Charlotte, but we little Charlotte. Let's put it that way. We little Charlotte. One of the crazy things though that I discovered I had in common with my auntie, this was a little odd. But one of the things I discovered I had in common with my auntie was that my auntie was a journalism major. Turns out that she was a copy editor for NASA. Your girl decided, unprompted, I did not know this until after I picked my major and I started school, that I also became a copy editor. I didn't work for NASA, but I became a copy editor. I went to school for journalism. I majored in journalism, print journalism, as a matter of fact. And for my first degree, my second degree is accounting, so I majored in journalism. I'm trying to get this off and it won't come off. This is the concealer, shade J7. And I cannot get this off because my hands are super greasy because of the primer. I don't know if I can get this open. What in the world? This is really... I literally cannot get this off. I'm going to have to wipe my hands off here. And I'm going to wash these pants later anyway, so when I do laundry. Y'all, I'm serious. I cannot. There we go. I was like, I can't get the top of this off. But anyway, I went to school for journalism. I went to the University of South Carolina at Columbia for journalism, mass communications, and I very much love my journalism degree. I had a good run there once I got things in hand and got life together and stopped doing dumb stuff that didn't help me. Which was a trauma response, which, folks, as I'm doing this makeup, if you see one of your family members is going through something and they are clearly having a trauma response, let me go ahead and tell you what the correct thing to do there is. The correct thing to do is, hey, family member, are you okay? Are you okay? Do you have resources to help you? Do you need my help? How can I help you? Is there anything I can do to help you? The incorrect response is to sit there and, one, make them feel like it's their fault that they're having this trauma response, and to sit there and make them feel like they don't have anybody. and that you are not supportive. That is the incorrect response, okay? So when I tell you this, please know that I know this from experience. You can go ahead and read between the lines how I know that. It is some foolishness, and it is not okay to do that to your family member. And then expect the family member to be okay with you when they finally recover and get themselves together. Nah, I go ahead and tell you now, they're not going to be okay with you. They are not. They not. I go ahead and tell you that now. You and them are not going to be okay. So I'm beating this in, trying to get a good beat. I'm definitely gonna. I'm using this concealer like it's like it's foundation, but I'm putting this on because I got a lot of dark spots over here, so I kind of want to get it over there real good. I noticed yesterday when I did this side, I needed to focus a little bit more on this side. And this under. I got a lot of hair too, by the way. So, you guys have seen this. I got a lot of hair. And so I have sideburns. And they are in the way here. So later today when I do something with my hair, I think I'm going to cut my sideburns down. Anyway, so yeah. The correct response there is, hey, family member, how can I help you? Is there anything that I can do to help you move through this tragedy that has happened to you? Through no fault of your own, by the way. And yes, I know you're going through some things. I'm also going through some things. But can I help you in any way? That's the correct response. It is not to make somebody feel terrible and like they are the problem. And that them having emotions about what is happening to them through no fault of their own is their fault. That's I wish that I didn't discover that about people that I cared about and that I love, because it really has changed my opinion. And I don't associate and I don't deal with those people anymore. Like, I don't go out of my way to talk to these people anymore. They're family members, by the way. It's not just random strangers or acquaintances or anything. No, we talking about family members. I just don't. I make it a point not to. Because I shouldn't have had to go through that. Not when you sit up here and you tell me you care about me. Absolutely not. I shouldn't have to go through that with you. That should not have been the response that I received when I came to you and told you I need help. Just begging for help. Literally crying out for help. Looked at me and was like, well, you kind of brought this on yourself. I'm like, excuse me? Then on top of that, well, you need to get over it. Everybody goes through this. I don't give a damn about everybody. I give a damn about me. I don't care about what everybody else doing. I care about me. And I care about the fact that you're a family member that I trust and care about. And this is the response I get from you when I literally come to you thinking that you're going to be supportive and helpful. That's what I care about here. And that is how we don't see you and we don't call you and we don't go visit. On purpose. Like, completely on purpose. And let me tell y'all, I learned the hard way. When I went through a divorce, you learn real quick about who care about you and who don't. And who is supportive of you and who loves you and who does not. Especially if they're people in your family. Oh, I learned real quick. Nope. I did not get the kind of the kind of support that I needed specifically. I got it just from people who are no longer among the living. Can't do nothing about that either. I mean, I had to navigate that on my own and was then told it was my fault because I picked a terrible person. Whew. You can imagine. So, as you can see, the beat is done. The beat is done, very well done this time. I think I might do a little bit over here because it's a little patchy. Yeah, there we go. Had to beat out that little patch that I saw that it was like, I think I got it. Yeah, that's a nice covered mug. It look nice. Like I said, I probably could benefit from some foundation and maybe some contouring. But I don't care enough about all that to do all of that. I mean, listen, I have nothing against contouring. If that's what you want to do. Listen, I'm going to tell y'all, and I want this for y'all to understand, this is the type of philosophy that we got going on here at Budget Beauty 2025. What we don't do is make fun of people, one. Two, however you do your makeup is how you do your makeup. Tain't none of my business. And actually, before I do all of that, before I do setting spray, we are going to do our lips first before we do setting spray. But like I say, we're not going to sit up here and make fun of people and make fun of people's makeup and do critiques of people's makeup. We don't do that. Yeah, I got some skill and I kind of know what I'm doing a little bit, but I'm not that kind of person either. That's just not my bag. I don't do that sort of thing. I don't have time for all of that. And we also are not going to be doing this thing. What are other creative, content people or content creators and stuff doing that gets on your nerves? I don't give a damn. I don't care enough about that to sit there and spend enough time to think about what are my pet peeves with other people doing makeup. I don't care. Like, I don't care. And I try to be a positive, good person who, if I see somebody doing something that's great, I'm like, yeah, look, you better do it. You better do it. That's fantastic. And then I go on about my business. If they doing something I don't like, baby, we keep scrolling. We don't sit there and stew on how much it's bothering us. I don't care enough for that. That's so stupid. Like, who got time for all of that? Not I. As my mama used to say, not I, said the cat. It came from the Cat in the Hat, which I loved as a child. I have no idea why I loved it so much. Mostly because my mom was like, my daughter is thing one and thing two put together. I'm sure my mom would be like, yes, you were. But yeah, I don't have time to be doing all that. And by the way, what I'm doing here is I'm adding a little bit of this pencil. These are NYX Jumbo pencils. These are fantastic. I actually really like them. They're jumbo pencils, eye pencil crayon pour les-vous. Not les-vous. It's les-vous. I took French for like 2 years in high school and still couldn't tell you what any of that meant. But yes, it's a jumbo pencil, and these are in the shades because I'm using this purple. I have like for 6 of these also, like I have the shadow sticks. I have 6 of these. This is in the shade. These 2 are in the shade eggplant and donut, but they're purple. And see, they blend really well with that shadow stick. I just did it to, what you saw me do there was fill it in a little bit so I could fill that part in. The little spots where I felt like it needed filling in. But for the most part, that shadow stick covered exactly what I wanted it to do. So that was good. I really like how the eyes turned out here. This was great. What we're going to do now, I kind of want to put on some highlighter, and then I'm going to do my lips. So this highlighter, this is ColourPop. I just bought this. ColourPop Super Shock Highlighter Pearlized in the shade Monster. I really kind of like this. I also have another highlighter. It is this bad boy right here. It's a NYX Jumbo multi-use face stick in the shade Apple Pie. So I use a lot of NYX and a lot of ColourPop, as you can tell. And we're going to use NYX for the lips in a minute. I'm trying to think, what do I want to use to put this on? I think I might use this brush. I mean, I could put on my setting spray now, but I probably should. I don't know. Maybe. Maybe. So I'm going to put on I'm going to do this highlighter because it's purple. It shows up, it reads purple on my skin, even though in this tube, as you can see, it's white. It's like pearlized. I'm learning how to do highlighter and do it right, so bear with me here. I know that I'm supposed to do it like on the top part, come down. I probably put on too much. That's exactly what I did, but it's all right. It's highlighting all right. I'll give it that. This is some blush. Yeah, I probably put on too much. Well. And yes, if you smile and do it at the top of your cheeks, that's like the best thing to do here. I learned that from watching some folks. I don't even know who I was watching. But yeah, we're not gonna be one of those people at this on this channel. We're not gonna be one of those makeup people, cause your girl ain't got time for all that. I mean, I guess that looks fine. I don't know. I mean, for what I'm doing, I guess it looks fine. Probably got on too much. I think I did too much. It's fine. Whatever. Try to do it on the other side and do it right this time. See, this is what you're supposed to be doing, is like a little swipe here on the cheeks and then blend it in so that it looks like you have a highlight on your face. But your girl didn't do that right. So on the other side, we just took this giant ass swipe. But yeah, I'm not that kind of person. I'm a nice person. I like to think I am. What I'm gonna do here is we're gonna blend this out something, because that is entirely too much. But I don't got time for all of that. I just don't have time for all of that. I got time to do this makeup and get this money, but I ain't got time for all of that. So I'm too old for that. Like, I'm an older fat lady who does makeup. Like, what we doing? Like, I'm worried about shade inclusion, and that's what I'm worried about. I'm worried about shade inclusion. If you're gonna send me some product, can you please send me something that's gonna work with my brown skin? Don't send me something dumb that it ain't gonna work with my skin. Now see, I cleaned that up. Whoa, your girl cleaned this up a little bit better than what it was. So now it looks nice. Ooh, that's cute. I look like I got a 5 o'clock shadow right there, though. I thought I looked like I got a 5 o'clock shadow. Because my skin just dark right there. Like, and even if I put on it's dark. Like, if I do that, you can see it real well. But I look like I got a 5 o'clock shadow over here, so. maybe we need to invest in some foundation to correct that problem. But it's fine. Like I say, it doesn't matter here. I'm going to be on camera, but this is for a project of my own making. So if I were going to be on TV or something like that, no, we get a professional makeup job and get her done. I lied. I said I had six of those jumbo sticks, and your girl really had seven. I have seven because I have it in the blue also. I have several of those sticks. All right, so we got her done, and I cleaned it up. It looks better. It looks much better. Now that I did a little bit more work with that. I kind of want to blend this in up here at the top because that looks a little odd. It looked like I gave myself a Trixie Mattel shadow up there. Which, don't get me wrong, don't come for me. Did you, when she asked it, Betty, did you or did you not come for me in the season 6? No, I'm not coming for you, Trixie. I actually really, really like Trixie's makeup. I think it's cool. I think it's really cool and creative. Yeah, I just don't want that shadow right there. And that's what it reminds me of, is when Trixie does the makeup around her eyes. And I'm like, I don't want Trixie shadow right now. It's not what I was going for. But that's exactly what I got. Because you can tell the line of demarcation almost immediately. So let me see if I can blend her down. Maybe get rid of some of that line a little bit. It's because there's lights on it too. That's why it looks like I got a line there. And see, I got a line right there too, because I didn't blend it well. I mean, I know why it's there. We know exactly why it's there. All right, so that's better now. It's better. So, all right, lips. I'm gonna do my lips before I do setting spray. All right, so today we're gonna use Sizzling. We're gonna use Sizzling. This is the NYX Lingerie Double XL. It's one of my favorite. It is my favorite lipstick brand. ColourPop's a close second, but I want to use this one because I want a dark red, a dark siren red. So I think, actually, I don't know if I'm going to use Sizzling. I looked at it earlier and I was like, I'm going to use Sizzling. I don't think I will. I think I'm going to use Untamable. Yes, this is Untamable. It's also NYX. Same brand. I'm going to use Untamable. All right, so we need to draw a line, and I need, for this, I don't need an exaggerated big line. I need a soft black line. So I'm going to use this really old pencil that I have. It don't even got the words on it anymore, but this pencil is great when I want to do a soft black line. So let me draw it on real fast. Okay. Let's keep his bow top line. Okay. Okay. All right. Line drawn. And then, I don't know, do I want to clean that up a little bit? I'm trying to debate, do I want to clean this up a little bit? Because one of these Cupid's bows is higher than the other. Guess I'm going to draw this a little bit higher. Yeah, that worked. That helped. That helped a lot. Okay. So, yeah. I aim to just have fun doing my makeup, especially in these long form videos. I want to just have fun doing my makeup. We just doing makeup, y'all. And trying products and talking about them. Like, alright, putting on this lipstick. Try not to draw over the black either. Yeah, I think this was the best red choice. I think that was the best red choice. These lips are a little rough. And what I like about this lipstick is it's not expensive. It is not expensive at all. I get great coverage. And it lasts. I don't have to do touch-ups during the day. Like if I'm at work, I don't have to touch up my makeup. I'm not bad. I'm just drawn that way. Look at that. Nice red lip. Nice red lip. That's going to dry down and give me a signature red lip that I love. If you notice, I like to sing a lot. I was in chorus for years. I started out as an alto and I ended chorus as a soprano. Go figure. So I think I am done here. I'm gonna do my setting spray in just a second, but I'm trying to think, do I want to clean this line up a little bit? I think I do want to clean this up a little bit. Okay. Okay. Because this is already almost dry. I cleaned her up. All right. I am pleased with that. Oh. I like it. All right. Time for setting spray. I dropped it. Hang on a second. Let's try not to drop the setting spray, y'all. All right. So, here we go. So, to avoid the super shiny foolishness that we had the last time, Not gonna do with so many sprays here. Actually, I think I need one more on the side over here. Whew. I never get used to that. Getting that spray, doing the spray in my face. We're gonna be a little shiny. And now we're turning on the fan. So you can see my little fan. Let's see if we can dry this face. I realize this is my longest video yet, but I want to take my time doing this today for this long form content. It's almost dry. Getting one of these little fans, and I'll tell you, had I known, and if I could have got one at the time, I would have ordered one from NikkieTutorials brand, Nimya. She has a little fan that you can use. It's the same thing. It's basically the same thing. I would have bought hers, but I didn't. They didn't have it in stock when I was trying to get a fan, because I realized pretty quickly doing all the stuff that requires drying and setting, and you really need a little fan. And so I kind of just needed one real quick. So maybe down the road I'll buy one. I'll buy another one when I'm finished with this. Using this one, I'll buy another one. Don't hurt to have two. But yeah, she makes an excellent little fan too. The Nimya brand fan. I really want to use Nimya's products because I really like NikkieTutorials and I really like her makeup. So she was who, between her and Beats by Deb on Instagram, and little dark boy, I can't really pronounce his name. It's right off the top of my head, but I follow him on Instagram also. Between the three of them, that is how I really got back into doing makeup and deciding, hey, you know what? I really like doing my makeup. I think I'll do it. Yeah. And I think we're finished here. Yep. I'm a little shiny. It's a little plasticky. But, some of that is that highlighter I put on. And some of that, because see, you can see it on my cheeks now. See, you can see it right there on my cheeks. And you can see it right there. Okay. So, we're done. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the completed look. So, what we learned from this, the takeaways that we learned from this is we know how to do this eye. We know how to do the Jessica Rabbit eye. And you can achieve it with two products that are not expensive at all. This pencil is a Ruby Kisses pencil. Child, that pencil was like $1.99, okay? Like, it's not expensive at all. These NYX Jumbo sticks, eyeshadow sticks, they are not expensive either. They're cream eye crayons. They are not expensive. They are like $8 at the most. Hell, they might even be $5. I don't know. Go look them up. They're on NYX's website, and they're on Ulta. I mean, it's not expensive at all. And these shadow sticks, y'all know how much I love my shadow sticks. These shadow sticks are $8, $9. They are not expensive at all. You can achieve this with super budget products. That's what we're trying to achieve here. All of the stuff that I used today, this was $9. This was maybe $9. It wasn't expensive. It was $9. The setting spray, not expensive either. Maybe like $6, I think. Now this was slightly, but it wasn't super crazy expensive. You're gonna pay drugstore price. It was like $12, I think. I think this concealer was $12. Might have been a little bit more than that, maybe $14. This beauty sponge that I use, I got this from Ulta. This is the Ulta brand sponge. The Shock highlighter, $9. The shadow stick was, I think, $8 or $9. And this lipstick, $9, $10. Like, it's not expensive at all. At most, I probably spent maybe $50 on products, but I use them every day. That's the thing. I'm getting everyday use out of them. And the payoff for me is exactly what I want. And it's in my budget. Like, I haven't had to restock any of this and like I say, I use it every day. I haven't had to restock it at all. The reason why I have as much as I do, and I'm going to get into my collection posts. I'm going to make a post on Budget Beauty on the blog at gaminginsurrection.com/darkgirl. I'm going to make a post about my collection of makeup and what we're working with and my organization. My thing here is I use all of this stuff. The reason why I use all of this stuff is because I just have an addiction with buying makeup. Let's just call it what it is. But it's not, you don't have to spend a lot. You don't have to break the bank in order to do a nice look and do what you want to do. And your level of makeup expertise and doing what you want to do. If you're a beginner, you ain't got to break the bank to buy stuff that you can do a look that you want to achieve. And then you can literally teach yourself how to do this stuff just by watching other people. Learn how the technique that they're using. That's how I learned how to do a cut crease. That's literally how I learned how to do cut crease. And I had been cutting my crease apparently and not even realizing that's what I was doing. Like, I had been doing this for years and didn't realize that those two were the same thing. Okay. So that's why I'm like, oh, I've been doing this the whole time. So that's what that's called? Oh, wow. So that's why I say you can teach yourself and you can do this yourself. And you ain't got to sit up here and spend hundreds of dollars on makeup. If you want to spend hundreds of dollars on makeup, be my guest. But on this channel, we ain't doing that. We might splurge every so often, but it is not a common thing for me to splurge on makeup. I love makeup too much and I spend too much money trying to stay in budget to spend a lot on makeup. So that's the genesis of Budget Beauty. So on that note, we're out of here. Gonna be back doing another look later on. So come back and watch my other looks and see how we progress with this makeup and get this budget on. I want to thank you for watching. I'll see you later.